The government's tax cuts have just passed the lower house. They now head to the Senate. One of the key crossbenchers is Jackie Lambie. I caught up with her a short time ago and began by asking, will she support the passage of those tax cuts from Labor?
Oh, absolutely. I'll be voting for them. I mean, they're not big tax cuts, and they're certainly not what I've liked to have seen go to that. Those people living on below the poverty line, I would have liked to have seen a lot more delivery right across the board to them. They are doing it really, they're going through really tough times, and it's really difficult for them. So what do you do, mate? I don't want the tax cut, but do you take the lesser evil? Do you just say, no, I'm not going to vote for this, and don't continue to try and pass this down to them? I just don't know what to do because we're stuck in a corner. I don't have the power to change that bill, unfortunately. Otherwise, you'd see a lot more of that money being much better targeted towards those people who actually need it.
The Coalition is using this as an example of just the reckless spending that the government has spent too much. It looks like this fight at the election is going to be about fiscal responsibility versus this cost of living support. What do you make of that battle now between the two major parties?
I really worry about the instability that's going on around the world. We don't have a crystal ball, do we? And Trump's making decisions left, right, and centre. Not
so the
worrying
Dutton
about the
argument
unintentioned.
Might resonate, you think?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think people are doing it so difficult out there that they switch off politics anyway. A lot of people are not engaged in politics, and a lot more what was there is now switched off because they're too worried about how they're going to put food on their table for their kids, or keep the roof over their head and stuff like that. They're completely disconnected with what's going on here. What I do know, and what we've been talking about, and I mean that's been quite made evident, is that those major parties are on the nose. Okay, so I mean, what else do you do? I've got to give it to those two women. I think they've performed really, really well. It doesn't matter whether you like them or not, or whether you're indifferent to them. They've come up here and got right off those starter blocks and done a really good job. And I think that shows a true intention to Australians that independents can hold them accountable here, and can completely call for transparency. And I think that's a good thing.
What's your view on the overall budget? I know you've got a lot of small business in your part of the world. Is there enough support? Is there any support for small business?
Oh my God, I thought there would have been stuff in there for small business. First of all, we're going to get a definition of small business. That was a promise made from Murray Watt in November last year to David Pocock and I. He has not delivered that promise. There is different definitions on small businesses. We want one definition, and we want that to go from 15 to 25 employees before you are hit. That needs to go up now. I have small business there with a tax write-off. I don't know if they know this morning, but your tax write-off, it finishes on the 1st of July. There is no bill that they've put through this week because, apparently it's more important that we deal with salmon farming than what it is to deal with small business and make sure that tax write-off has been left in place. That is all over. When they come and tell me that they believe that Labor is that they are not a friend of Labor's or whatever, and I've gone now, yeah, actually, small business is the enemy of Labor Party. They have really, I don't know what they've got against small business, but my God, I'm begging the Treasurer, Jim Chalmers, come down to my electorate. Because I don't think you've had your boots and your old jeans on, mate. I think it's about time you got back to reality and got on the ground with those on. And you come and see down here. I haven't changed your mind about small business in half a day, then I'm not doing my job. But Christ almighty, have the guts and come and spend some time with me, mate, because it's really bad.
Okay, and on that salmon farming thing that you mentioned, that industry, isn't that, I thought you'd support that initiative the government's wanting to legislate protection for the industry, isn't that, because that's in your part of the world?
Yeah, but they're not protecting the industry. This is the problem. There are 65% of Tasmanians that don't want salmon farming in the harbours. They don't want them sitting on, when you arrive at Bruny Island, sitting on the doorstep.
A lot of jobs rely on that industry.
There is 22 jobs sitting in Strawn on the northwest coast. Now, when they come out and say there's 5,000 jobs, no one's been sued and said that's bullshit. You're actually lying. That is spin doctor stuff, and that is not the truth. A lot of it is automated now. A lot of it is push button from headquarters. The food is all dropped by that. There is very little manhandled stuff going on those sites anymore. I've got $37 billion of your taxpayers' money going to those multinationals to oxygenate Macquarie Harbour. Why would you just say no, not doing this? We're going to spend that $37 million on those 22 employees there. We're going to give them removal costs, and we're going to retrain them and get them moving again. That'll be a much cheaper cheaper option, mate.
They've put $3 million in the budget to help the Maugean skate breeding program. That's the creature that's apparently threatened by the farming.
Sure,
Is that
but
a good thing?
it's much bigger than that. It's not just about the skate. It's about the sludge and that's being left behind. Do you know the local owners sold out over the last 4 or 5 years and sold them off to the multinationals because they already knew what I did. They got out of it because they were feeling the pressure already. They knew Tony Burke come up and doubled the tonnage basically in 2012. This is Tony Burke's dirty, stinking mess, and this is his cover-up of trying to cover up the mess that he made. Here's a good idea, just half the tonnage in that Macquarie Harbour and do that tomorrow. And then you've got the new bill that they're trying to do, the environmental bill. It has not gone to an inquiry. They're trying to rush that through today. We're now hearing that may not even do anything about the salmon, but it may have unintended consequences out there to mining and the rest. Very interesting.
One last one before you go, and we've spoken about this one before, the Macquarie Point Stadium. Cricket Tasmania now saying that the roof as it's designed won't work for cricket. Sounds like the architects might have to go back to the, well, I was going to say proverbial, but the literal drawing board, won't they?
Oops. Oops, that is the gift that keeps giving to Jackie Lambie, that goddamn stadium. It's not going to get erected if it's the last thing I do down there. It is the money, we cannot afford it, that's the first thing. That was half the profits. You've just lost half the profits, so you believe that you forecast that we're going to go into that stadium, no cricket there. And then, you know, you've got Dr. Gruen up there this afternoon in front of a panel going up against them and telling them why this won't work, why it's not sustainable and why it won't make money. So interesting times for Tasmania. The fight against that stadium is only getting bigger and it will not go away, I can assure you, until that stadium is off the agenda, full stop.
Could be in the election campaign
It's
very
massive.
soon. Yeah, we'll see you.
Yeah.
We'll see you down there at some point on the beautiful island of Tasmania. Looking forward to it during the campaign. Jackie, thanks as always.
You're welcome, and mate, you better come see me so you survive a couple of days in Tasmania.
will.
I'll need to give you some basic skills.
Look forward to it.
Good
Thank
on
you.
you.